Nationwide, summer heat often brings violence.
It is a time when police officers across the country prepare for the possibility of more crime. In Albany, the police chief here, he's also focusing on a different problem in the city.
He sat down with Faith King to discuss what it is.
As some of us know, and as statistics show, when temperatures rise, so do crime rates.
We know that there's more activity. We know that we have individuals who are on the violent extreme of things that we have to deal with. And so we're doing the same thing here. Every year we have additional police resources out there. We have additional funding from the state to allow us to have these additional patrols and policing.
But with those extra measures, Albany's Chief of Police Eric Hawkins remains cautiously optimistic, admitting there is a problem in the city, one that really came to light in 2020.
That's when we just seen an explosion in illegally possessed weapons in our streets. In the city of Albany from 2019 to 2020, our confirmed shots fired more than doubled.
According to a CDC report published last October, the firearm homicide rate in the United States increased nearly 35% from 2019 to 2020, coinciding with the emergence of the COVID-19 pandemic. This increase affected all ages and most population groups, but not equally.
In cities across the country, we're seeing individuals who have a lack of impulse control, not able to resolve conflicts in a peaceful manner, taking out these grudges and these beefs and these grievances that originated sometimes years ago out on other people simply because they have access to these guns now. The guns just made it much more lethal, much more dangerous. It instilled much more fear.
I think we can all make an assumption on why people are so angry when you talk about the year of 2020 and why people are just so lost in the world. But why was there an increase of guns on the streets?
And that's a question that we're constantly having a conversation with our federal authorities about, because what we know is that a lot of these illegally possessed weapons come outside of the state of New York. We're seeing these guns coming from our southern states that have these lax gun laws where you can go in and you can buy a weapon in many cases without any identification whatsoever. You can buy these guns en masse and ship these guns to different parts of the country.
So who are these troublemakers? We heard Chief Hawkins talk about individuals who have a lack of impulse control, and they usually react in violence. Who are the criminals police plan to keep a close eye on during the summer months? We'll talk about it in the next part of this coverage with Chief Hawkins, and I'll tell you the department's strategy on stopping these criminals before they act. Reporting in Albany, Faith King for Newschannel 13, coverage you can trust.
On Live at 4, we heard Albany's Police Chief Eric Hawkins express optimism about limiting violence this summer.
And as law enforcement around the nation prepare for what they say will be a potential summer surge in violent crimes, Chief Hawkins tells Faith King his department already has a strategy in place and knows exactly who to target.
Chief Hawkins, are you expecting the city of Albany to see a bloody summer?
No, I think that we're going to have a summer where people can enjoy the capital city, just like any other year in any other urban center across this country.
While crime does happen in the city of Albany, during the summer months, Albany's Police Chief Eric Hawkins says additional police officers are out in the streets patrolling with a focus on preventing violent crime.
So we have some identifiable hotspots in our city that normally the same every year, but there are some emerging spots as well. So we have meetings several times a week where we discuss what these hotspots are, what the emerging ones are. We shift our resources almost on a daily basis.
According to Albany Police data, in 2022, there were 96 shots fired incidents in the city, 32 people shot, 52 gun arrests made, and 71 guns recovered. As of this June, there have been 69 confirmed shots fired incidents, 31 victims already, 37 gun arrests, and 51 illegal guns taken off of the streets.
We had a record year last year in terms of the amount of guns that we took off the street. over a 50% increase in weapons taken off the street in just that 1 year alone.
Every single one of those guns seized was possibly another life saved. The violent criminals behind the trigger, well, Chief Hawkins says it's a small group.
Our statistics tell us that less than 1% of the population of a city is responsible for the vast majority of the violent crimes that you're going to see in the city. 60 to 70% of those violent crimes. And so we've got this small, less than 1%, mostly young men. So what are we going to do about it?
Catching them before they act and arresting as many of them as possible. Chief Hawkins says that's the department's strategy.
There are some people who deserve, they've lost their right to be in civilized society. They need to be locked up. They need to be taken away from people and put in a place so that they can't harm people or traumatize communities.
But incarcerating people won't put an end to the violence. The chief says there needs to be intervention well before these young men become criminals.
But we've got to slow the supply of young men going in there, and that's why I say that it's so important that the community and with the police department working with the community, that we're helping some of these young men at very young ages see that there's some other positive pathways so that they don't enter that subculture. Because once you're in it, from my experience in this, then you become a part of this whole deal where it's okay to shoot up a barbershop because you have some grievance with some person that happened to be at that spot at that particular moment.
And speaking of that barbershop shooting, we'll take a look back at that very busy weekend in Albany where 10 people were shot in a span of 48 hours, including children. Where that investigation stands coming up. Reporting in Albany, Faith King for Newschannel 13, coverage you can trust.
It's been nearly a month since Albany saw one of its most violent weekends this year. What was supposed to be a beautiful Mother's Day weekend kept officers busy. 10 people injured and a man dead.
Faith King continues her coverage with the police chief Eric Hawkins on crime in the city as the summer approaches.
And to those involved in these horrific acts, be aware, you have our full attention.
And that was a promise, Chief Hawkins says, following the string of shootings during Mother's Day weekend.
Let's go back to that weekend about 2.5 weeks ago. It was during the Tulip Festival. It was Mother's Day weekend, and these reckless, during broad daylight shootings happened, resulting in 2 children being injured, a man being killed, and 10 people hurt during those shootings. How concerning is that for you?
It was very concerning. I mean, it's almost incomprehensible that there are people who have this mentality that they can just, they think that they can do it with impunity. These heinous acts in our communities. We have a wonderful day. It's a holiday weekend, and then we have these individuals who decide that they want to shoot other people for whatever reason. I mean, it's just mind-boggling.
5 shootings in a span of 48 hours, resulting in someone losing their life too soon.
We investigate every single act of violence as if it was a homicide. So not all of those shootings resulted in a homicide. We had the one that it just should not have happened, any of them, but particularly the one where the young man died at the barbershop. But that is 100% a promise. We are 100% committed to coming after those folks, and we have a lot of people behind us.
That's where the chief's confidence comes from.
We have our district attorney. We have our federal agencies that are working with us. We have locals that are working with us, and then we have this array of detectives in our department that do a fantastic job of investigating these crimes and bringing justice to victims. As an example, the homicide clearance rate across the country is somewhere around 50%. The clearance rate for homicides in this city is well over 80%. They do a great job of finding these individuals and bringing justice. So when I say that they have our full attention, they do, and we don't forget.
Chief Hawkins says he can't talk specifics right now regarding those Mother's Day shootings, but he did say there is progress in identifying people, and he's hoping to have positive information to share soon. Reporting in Albany, Faith King for News Channel 13, coverage you can trust.